Interesantes shows en vivo, tu mejor opción en internet, radiocristalUSA.com.
Hi, bienvenidos a mi show. Welcome to Catching Up with Claudia. Now, ojalá que se puedan quedar hasta el final para que puedan escuchar lo que va a compartir mi invitada o mi invitado. Así es que no se les olvide también de seguirnos por las redes sociales. Estamos en todas las plataformas. Hasta luego.
Hola, hola, and welcome back to another recording of La Super Comadre Claudia of RadioCrystalUSA.com and Catching Up with Claudia. I'm super excited to be here. I am fired up and ready to vote. But before we get to my guests and the amazing topic that we're going to talk about today and the launching of some really cool stuff, I want to just take the time to just start off with a moment of reflection. And because so much has happened these last couple of weeks, we have lost two giants here in Houston, two sets of shoulders that have bolstered up so many other people in the community to do work within the community and in community. And so I want to just share a little bit about what I've been up to with Catching Up with Claudia. And these are two amazing people, human beings that we've lost, but they served well. They put their life out there. They had their family out there, just making sure that Houston folks, residents, had what they deserved. Felix Fraga was the first Latino on the council here in Houston, city council member. And he passed away a week ago. And I had the chance I actually benefited from Mr. Fraga's youth programs. Although the youth program started a long time ago, but this is how I'm connected. My mom and her siblings lived in Clayton Homes. Clayton Homes were the projects here in Houston off of Canal Street, which is now, changed up a lot, but it's by Guadalupe Church. So my family grew up there. And Mr. Fraga, created some programming to get the kids out of the projects and into programs. One of those programs was putting kids to work in the summer. And my mom and her sisters had a chance to work in the medical center. And they moved up, and one of my aunts in particular moved all the way up to becoming a physician's assistant. So I am a beneficiary of the programming that was created by Mr. Fraga when he was a council member. He had this gift to make sure that he connected with you when he spoke to you. And these are just stories passed on to me by my mom. And it was a beautiful wake that they had for him, and as well as yesterday, Monday, the burial and the eulogy. And so just my hats off, my heart to the Fraga family. Thank you for sharing your father, your grandfather, the uncle, as he stood for us to stand upon. Thank you. And I also want to take a moment of reflection for Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. That woman has been in my life as long as I could remember. And all I remember is seeing her making sure that her voice was put out there for those that didn't have the ability to put their voice on a platform. And she was always there to make sure that if something needed to be done, sent this way to Houston, she was there. And I just want to say, I want to take a moment of reflection for these two giants. And, when I see things like this happen and I look around and I'm like, man, we are the giants now because we stood on their shoulders. Now we are the ones that are now bolstering other people. So it's a mission. It's beautiful work. It's challenging work, But I want to take some time to reflect on these two amazing individuals. And this is a posting by Tony Diaz, who is an amazing community leader and activist here in Houston, who put up this beautiful remembrance. He shared Casa Ramirez's posting about these two amazing individuals. So let us not forget them. Let us not forget the work. May it continue. And this is going to connect to today's topic, which is something that I want to launch today. But before we get to that launching, I want to just bring on the amazing Liliana Elizondo, who is a woman behind Radio Crystal USA, making sure that it's online, on air. We know we have people supporting us, sponsors. So come on up, Liliana, and share a little bit about what's going on with Radio Crystal USA and what's new and what's next.
Hi, comadre. Well, it's been a busy weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We've been having business expos.
Mm-hmm.
We had our second one in Katy. It was awesome. We had more than 20 vendors, and everyone's invited to our Radio Crystal USA and Supernova Furniture festivals, which include business expos,
Mm-hmm.
conferences, and also we have Mexican bingo, and we have prizes, and we have a lot of entertainers. We have singers, and we have a lot of surprises. So everyone's invited to go to Supernova Furniture on Katy, Texas for our business expos. And if you want to be part of them, please contact us at radiocrystalUSA.com. And remember, go to supernovafurniture.com so you can find out when we're going to be there. And it's awesome because we have a network at the beginning of the event, so all the vendors connect with each other.
Oh, beautiful.
And then we have speakers on stage.
Uh-huh.
And we have a lot going on, and we've grown. And our third one's going to be on August the 31st from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So, and it's a family event. Everyone's invited. We have lots of prizes from our sponsors and from our vendors. So please come join us. Free entrance, free parking, and lots of giveaways.
All right. That sounds exciting. So this is we're going to the third one now.
Yeah.
So it's growing. That's amazing. And this is what it's about. Houston's about connections, about business, about uplifting each other. And I'm glad that we have this going on because, coming out of pandemic, coming out of, making sure that we're recovering, this is part of it, is making sure that we offer this opportunities for vendors to come out, set up their tables, sell their merchandise, sell their service. And thank you also for allowing a space for Brain Builders. We'll be out there soon to also share the Brain Builders program to the community. So I'm super excited to continue seeing this grow. And you mentioned sponsors. So why don't you bring up our sponsors before we get started with the rest of today's show?
All right, comadre, I'm going to be behind the scenes, and we want to thank all our sponsors, and here they are. Radio Cristal USA es patrocinado por Supernova Furniture, la mueblería de los paquetes de las ofertas más famosas. BAMSA Global, servicio de inmigración con más de 40 años de experiencia. Doneraki Fuego y Mar, con su auténtica comida mexicana que bien se come en Doneraki. Fred Haas Toyota World, es el concesionario número 1 de Texas y siempre tiene el auto que estás buscando. América Cinemas, te ofrece las mejores películas dobladas y subtituladas al español. Hostelería Michoacán, donde comes a gusto y delicioso, y siempre hay una cerca de ti. Gracias por patrocinarnos.
All right. So gracias. Thank you so much for all the sponsors that we have lined up. And I also want to mention a few of my sponsors. So comadre Liliana, would you please bring up the image with a few of my sponsors? I actually have my Cookie Face Cosmetics, who I always use her lip glosses to make sure I'm nice and shiny and fresh in the lip area. And also Men Awake, for those of us that are in our 50ñera era, which is me. I'm 50 and above, and I'm already hitting the hot flashes. So I always apply my Men Awake like roll-on on my wrist, which helps control the hot flashes. And so my jewelry, I have some earrings here from Ilsa's boutique. She's always making sure that I'm looking glam when I come up here. And if you ever see the pictures that I post, like the one that's there by the chair, by that pink wall, those are by Chris Piñon, the amazing photographer, friend, compadre, who's been on the show as well. And he's always making sure that I look amazing in these photographs that I'm always sharing to promote RadioCrystalUSA.com and my show. And there is Ilsa right there. All right. So a couple of other things that I want to share with you. What's up with La Super Comadre Claudia? So I've been working really hard building out brain builders. So Lilani, could you please show that image right now? And if you're listening to Brain Builders is a program that was designed for moms that are currently having little ones, you know, in the ages of 0 to 3, moms who are expecting a baby, families, you know, it could be a primary caregiver that can come out to these sessions. We have them online. So you can't get to a session in person like the way we have it set up here at the Harris County Public Library, South Houston branch. We already have some in-person sessions that started today, but don't worry, you can join in on the next 5 sessions. They're totally free. They're an hour and a half, and it's like a play and learn situation where you bring the kids and we present brain building tips that are going to help the families, you know, make sure their little ones are growing and getting ready for school. So brainbuilders.org, go over to the website, go ahead and sign up for a session. They're free. I'm one of the facilitators. I also do the social media as well as the outreach, and I am a facilitator. So I'm going to be there waiting for you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. at South Houston branch. I'll be waiting for you. We're going to have fun. We're going to talk about little ones and getting them ready for school and also taking care of number 1, mom, the primary caregiver. You got to make sure you take care of yourself because building up children, building up communities, it takes a lot out of us. So we got to take care of ourselves before we take care of everybody else. So go to brainbuilders.org and sign up for a session. All right. And also, we were invited to Las Meras Meras. I'm going to be sharing brain builders over at Las Meras Meras Fest. And what does Meras Meras mean? Mera means like the one, the person, the one that has it all, right? So it's a fest where we're going to have some speakers come and speak about health and wealth and taking care of yourself while you're building your business, your career. And I'm going to be there as part of a community, as a business partner and sharing brain builders with the moms that are there. And even if you're not a mom, it's okay. You can be an auntie, you can be a godmother, you can be a grandmother. There is a child around you somewhere. There is a family that could, you know, have this resource for them, and it's free, and they can do it online or they can do it in person at a location. All right. So hopefully you can come by to Las Meras Meras Fest. It's on August the 17th. There's more information there. And you can just go and check up on our Brain Builders Facebook page, Instagram page for more information. And I also will have it on all of my social media pages. And hopefully you'll come out and check it out and see what Brain Builders is about. And we'd love to see all the little ones show up with their primary caregivers, their moms, their parents. Bring the grandma, bring the aunties, bring whoever is part of your group, your family that's helping you raise your little one. All right. So, let me bring it on down. Hold on. Let me take out my little fan because a hot flash is setting in because I got some hot news, okay? So a long time ago when I first started this show, it was right when this other person was running for office that's trying to run for office again. And every time I would talk about the elections, I would always say, ya vas a empezar con las elecciones. Yeah, I'm going to start talking about the elections. Yes, well, guess what? I'm back. I'm back because I am fired up and ready to vote. And before we dive more into that, I want to bring in an amazing super comadre who's been on before. She talked about her election. She was running for a position and she actually won that position. And she's been doing a lot of great work here for our community and beyond, not just Houston. I mean, she's gone beyond. Okay. So I want to have her come back because we're going to talk about how I'm fired up and ready to vote and also what she's been doing for the community in her position, and also talking about the next president. And I'm already claiming it. All right, I want to bring on Stacy Childs. Come on, my super comadre, Stacy Childs. Woo!
Woo! How's it going?
Going good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Today is a good day.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Now,
I'm happy to be here.
I had you on a while back, and you were running for a position that you and I are very in an arena that you and I are very passionate about. Talk about the position you won, and share a little bit about the work you've been doing.
Sure. 2 years ago, I was on this fantastic show, and we talked about my first run for political office of any kind, which was to run for the State Board of Education seat in District 4, which is in primarily central Houston, but some parts of Galveston. And all of the 15 members of the board are responsible for deciding standards for students that are in kindergarten through 12th grade, deciding what the graduation requirements will be for high school students, and deciding whether or not charter schools will be approved in various places across the state of Texas or not, and finally maintaining or helping to maintain the permanent school fund. So we have been knee deep in that work for the past 2 years. The first year, I was of learning the role itself, right? And learning who my allies were and getting acclimated to the role. But shortly into my first term, we had a major shift in Houston with the state or the Texas Education Agency taking over the largest school district in Texas, which is Houston HISD, and appointing a new board of managers, appointing a new superintendent. And all of this is happening, which I am not directly responsible for in my role, but obviously anybody involved in education was knee deep in this work in Houston. So what I've been trying to do is talk with teachers, talk with students, talk with parents, and talk with these leaders that have been appointed to see, what are you guys doing? What types of changes are happening in the district, and how can I be a part of this so I can know what's going on and how kids are being affected? So that's some of what's been going on, but I did some work today that's going to likely impact all 5.5 million students in Texas.
Okay.
Right now, we are about to approve new reading materials across the state. And I have the opportunity to give lots of revisions and insights and edits to the commissioner who was primarily responsible for some of the materials that I vetted. And that has been interesting work, because I definitely want to see people that look like you and me, Claudia, accurately in the books. I want the depictions of history to be dignified, but also truthful.
Facts.
Yeah, that's been attacked the past few years, not just in our state, but in our entire nation. So that work we did today was very, very important. And we will be voting on these materials in the next few months here. So we'll see what revisions he's actually going to accept.
Okay, because that is so essential, especially when you and I, the faces of like you and I, make up the majority of the public school system. So it is imperative that, and you've been doing this work. I've been watching your posts. I've been watching you. I've been seeing pictures of you sitting with mountains of material that you went through to vet it. And this is important work. And I will say again, all elections matter. Yes, we want to elect, we want to go vote for the big voting that we do, elections like president. But when we also have to pay attention to who we're sending to the state board, who we're sending to the judge, the benches, because we're probably going to be affected, more than likely be affected by the books that are chosen for our classroom before a federal person, elected official, right? We're going to be affected more by the person that we're going to potentially appear in front of in a court than what's happening at the federal level. So it's super important. All elections matter. I am fired up and ready to vote.
I am too.
There have been some changes in the election now. I want you to talk a little bit because, and at around 7:30, I'm going to have Stephanie Wilkins come on, another super comadre who's been on before. And she is the Reverend Dr. Stephanie Wilkins, who will be coming up. And she was on a call last Sunday after it was announced. I believe you were on a call too.
I was too. I was one of the 44,000.
I want you to talk about that call to action, one of the 44,000, and how this inspired me. So talk a little bit about that phone call.
So I think that when I say we, I'm going to say Democrats, we needed to get excited about something. We needed something that would fire us up, and we needed someone to be out in the forefront who represents what we still stand for and what we know to still be true about the United States. So when President Joe Biden respectfully and with his
dignity,
was able to take the back seat and realize that we needed the next generation of leaders to come forward. I mean, people came out in droves, and there were several Black women that got together and they said, hey, we need to start organizing. We can organize out loud. We need to organize in secret. And Zoom, which we learned and what we're kind of sort of using now, is a powerful tool to organize. So it was so funny. They got the Zoom together, and of course it started to be shared, but there was a maximum of 1,000 participants for a Zoom. And I guess we won't really think about that because most of us aren't maxing out Zoom calls, right? When we got to the 1,000, everybody was like, hey, we can't get in. And the woman that spearheaded this win with Black women, she was able to contact someone at Zoom, and the parties at Zoom were able to do some type of configuration on the spot.
Wow.
Open it up. And before you knew it, 44,000 people were on that call. They were able to raise $1.5 million. And we were on the call well after midnight.
Oh, my.
And everybody was so excited and so happy to know that we still have skin in the game.
Yes.
We are not just doomed, right? You go on social media and you feel like you're so doomed.
I know.
That's what you see, but this is firing us up, and I'm excited about it. I've written a song for Kamala. I hope she hears it. I'm going to probably after this, but I want to encourage not just Black women, not just Black men, but everybody.
Everyone.
Your family, your affinity groups together and organize, because she represents us, what we know to be true still in these United States, so that we can get her elected.
Absolutely. And I know that some people are going to be like, oh, elections, and we shouldn't be talking politics. And I thought I would. No, you know what? First of all, I will say that my show guests, the views that I have, that my guests have, do not reflect the radio station.
Sure.
However, this is a way for me to share this excitement, to share the resources that are available. Now, of course, I'm partial, and that's it. You don't like it, you can swipe, go to the next page. There's a lot of other things you can watch. But I was inspired by this call. I was inspired by what I heard and saw with you and Stephanie being on this call. And I then was invited to be part of Latinas for Kamala Harris. I jumped on that. And then I was on another call last night, Monday night. And then there was, I think tonight, there's white dudes for Kamala going on.
Yeah.
They're fired up and ready to go. And I want to say this: I was ready to vote for Joe all the way. I don't care. I mean, however, no, that was not. But I am really ready to vote, and my girls are excited. I have a teenager. I have 2 teens now. They're almost going to be ready to vote, but not yet. But they're excited. They've been in this campaign game since they were like the time that orange person won. They got thrusted into all of the protests and the rallies, and I would give them chocolate Hershey's Kisses to kind of bribe them to just come on. We got one more mile to go to walk, or we're gonna be on the heat. We did what we could to make sure that we were active in signing people up. I became a voter registrar person. I was signing people up. So I as a mom, as a woman, as watching my little girls, thinking I may not be able to do a lot, but there's one little thing I can do. And so now I've been inspired. I've been inspired to now launch today with the help of my partner, my boyfriend, the artist Angel Quesada, who created some images for launching my comadres for Kamala. So, woo! I want to bring up those images. Let's see if my comadre, and also, did you get a hold of Stephanie? Is Miss Stephanie calling in too? Is she ready to go? I think she might be ready to go. She's in the background. Okay. Well, before we come up and show these images, it's to me, it's a call to action. And you know what, Stacey, you know what I did for the other election? I did TikToks where I was dancing, and I called it dance #dance to the polls. And I would do TikToks, and I would always put a link to the DNC, to voting. I mean, I even had people creep into my DMs on TikTok saying, you know, I might just vote for blue just because of your dance TikToks. And I'm like, hey, if my little dances are gonna inspire you to vote blue, I'm gonna dance some more. So, you know, I'm already getting some hate on my Facebook page because I already started posting comadres for Kamala and in just where I stand. It's not even anything like putting down the other side. It's just posts to promote who I am. And then I get the hate like, oh, well, da 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 da. And all I do is post a little video of me dancing. I mean, you can say what you want to say, but I'm gonna post my TikTok, dance to the polls. And that's it. We have 99 days.
99 days.
99
days. We gotta make them count.
We do.
So I expect to see more dancing TikToks from you.
I do.
I will do my part.
You know, you're gonna do your song.
Some hot verses, you know, for Kamala.
We got this. We got this. And the more we can inspire and others, whether it is, you know, just check your voter registration information. Do that. Start with that. Make sure, because
October 5th, last day to register to vote before the presidential election.
And also, if you are about to turn 18, these teens, there's a certain date that they have to be able to register to vote if they're about to turn 18 in a certain, and we have that information. I found a little posting that we could share. But now I want to bring on the air. Oh, here it is. High school students, if you will be 18 before November the 5th, you may register now. So that's super important. And those college students that are leaving their homes, their communities, their cities, you need to make sure that there's no shenanigans happening where you're landing, where you're going to school to keep you from voting. So make sure that before you leave to college, moms out there, dads out there that are listening, before your kids go off to college and they're of voting age, make sure that they figure all that out, because what you don't want is what happened. We saw this, where kids were going to vote at their college campus, and all of a sudden they couldn't vote because they now had a new residence and they didn't have the new residence, whatever. There's a lot of shenanigans, and I'm pretty sure going to happen again. So we got to make sure that everything's in line. So start with that. You know, making sure that your voter registration is up to date. If you're moving, that too, make sure it's up to date. If you're going away to college, make sure it's up to date. If you're about to turn 18, make sure you sign up before the so you can be able to vote. And like you said, October the 5th?
October the 5th.
October the 5th. We got to remember that date. All right. I want to bring on Reverend Dr. Stephanie Wilkins. She too answered the call last Sunday. She was on that Zoom. Reverend Dr. Stephanie Wilkins. She's an author. She's an activist. She's out there doing the work. Come on and share what have you been doing, and share a little bit about you and your new book and what's next for voting in this election.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Talk a little bit louder if that's possible.
Okay. I'm going to try, but I'm in my car. I'm on my way to Incorporated is having their 50th
Oh, Reverend Dr. Stephanie, you are coming. I cannot hear you. I'm so sorry. I think you're coming in and out like waves. It sounds like music, though. How about you call in again? And Liliana, could you tap her in again? Can we try that? Can we have her hang up and call in?
Okay, here's the last change. Can you hear me now?
Oh, here we go.
Here you go. I was just saying that the Boule for Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
Yes.
Incorporated 1922. And so we are Boule where all the sisters are getting together at George R. Brown. And I'm going to share that my president, Kamala Harris, has confirmed she will join us at the meeting tomorrow evening. It's an open meeting. It's first come, first served. So you got the news from me. She will be speaking tomorrow evening at the George R. Brown opening section of Boule. So if you can get in, get in.
Okay, so I want to make sure I got this right, because I heard you came in strong, you're coming in strong, and I was leaving you. So you're saying that Kamala Harris is going to be at the George R. Brown?
Yes.
Okay, what day?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, July 31st, around what time? 7 p.m. And this is for the Sigma Gamma Rho?
It's Sigma Gamma Rho and all Divine Nine fraternities and sororities, but it is an open public meeting. So that means anybody can come in.
Okay.
But once the seats are filled, they will close the door.
Okay.
Overload or overflow. It's just that the capacity seating in the grand ballroom.
Okay.
So if you can, I'm going
all right.
From Facebook. I'm going to be live streaming from Facebook so you can catch it there as well.
Okay. So Reverend Dr. Stephanie, Liliana, would you please pull up a picture of this amazing woman's book? She is the author of a very important, her title just says it all. This woman is an amazing leader. She was a school leader. She went back to school, became a reverend, back to school again, became a doctor, and she has put out a book entitled Overcoming Anger by the Reverend Dr. Stephanie Wilkins. So you heard her. She was on the call too. I believe you were on the call too. And it sounds like you are fired up and ready to vote. You've been out there, boots on the ground, showing up and just making sure that people were connected to, elected officials, campaigns, fundraisers. Anytime there was some need where you needed to be somewhere to connect folks to information, that's what I've seen you doing. And we connected a long time ago as school leaders at a certain charter school. And we reconnected again when that orange person was running the first time. And we reconnected then, and here we are still connecting. And I want to thank you. You are my super comadre out there doing the work.
How awesome are you? Right back at you.
Why, thank you.
I have seen you just persevere and just plow through all of the challenges that life has thrown at you. And you do it with a smile and a flower on the side of your head. So that's wonderful. I love that about you. But I just want to say about that call, first of all, how quickly that call came together and how many people were on that call. You had activists, you had elected officials, you had people who are advocates and activists, and we got on and kept going. Into, just like Stacey Child said, that it started and then they were able to get in touch with the CEO, and he opened it up. It just kept going and going and growing and growing. And they said, we are not getting off this call until we raise at least $1 million. Somewhere close to 1 a.m., we were able to rejoice because they had over $1 million in just that span of a few hours. And so that lets me know just how parched, just how depleted we were to have someone to really throw all of our efforts and our energy into them. I totally respect Joseph Robinette Biden. Respect him for realizing that though he had the desire, that he needed to allow someone who had the stamina, energy, and the qualifications able to lead us into the next phase of what we need to do to hold on to democracy.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting. It's either an entire between a democracy and a dictatorship. For that police person to say out his mouth, oh, just vote. Just vote. I need all my good white Christians to vote. You don't have to put more time. You don't have to do it anymore. What does that sound like to you?
Yes, yes. And Dr. Stephanie, we're losing you right here at the end, but I caught the end of it, of making sure that, no matter who you are, but I need my white Christian folks to vote. I need you to show up. But and also sharing that same story that Stacy shared, where the Zoom CEO or someone was connected to the CEO Zoom personnel and was able to open up the Zoom call to be able to receive the people, receive that energy, receive the money, because it's going to take money to win. And that's what it is. But for all of us to be able to now use, that was like a springboard for the rest of us to then find a way to get connected. And like I was telling Stacey tonight, there's been so many calls since then that were inspired. It was like the white women were called and they did the Zoom. Then we had Latinas for Harris. That was on Monday. There was another one last night that you sent me the link and other folks sent me the link and I was on that one. And tonight there's a white dudes for Kamala on tonight. I mean, it is just rolling and rolling. So Dr. Reverend Stephanie Wilkins, thank you so much for joining in the call. But I want to have you back because I really want to have you and your beautiful face and your book and have a whole segment about overcoming anger. Thank you so much. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Hopefully y'all make it out to tomorrow. George R. Brown. We have Vice President Kamala Harris, now presidential nominee, to be out here at this event. And I'm gonna connect with her more later on. And if I can get that information, I will share it on here. So that way on our social media platform. So if you want to come out, get into the room before the door closes, because like she said, there will not be an overflow room. So make sure you get there. If you got to get in line early, get in line early. We can get in line for some new shoes and new clothes. And whenever something gets let out, because I always tell my family, hey, if y'all can get in line for tickets for this and for the new release of that, we can get in line for our kids, for our future, for the person that's going to make those decisions for us. So Stacy, next steps. What can you give to me from that call? 3 things or more that I can then input into Comadres for Kamala.
Yes. So you've already started Super Comadres for Kamala. Make sure that people know that they can donate, because she is not going to win this election without more money. She's already raised about $250 million, but you have to think about how hard it is for her to canvass within 99 days. Mm-hmm. There are 5 swing states, Pennsylvania being the state that she really needs to win. We're going to have people out there knocking on doors like crazy, and she's going to need money to do that. And please let your people know that join your group. No amount is too small. Some people don't feel inclined to donate because they only have $10 or $5 or $25. That counts. That's an hour of pay for someone. That's some food for someone or a gas card. So encourage people to donate, encourage people to join, and make sure that people, like you said, are not just voting for Kamala, but voting all the way down the ticket. So those are the 3 things I would share.
For all the way down. Okay, I'm taking notes right here. Like, I'm taking notes right here, all the way down.
I do want to share this one thing. This is an honorable mention.
Yes.
There has been some rhetoric around, and I know this is I'm assuming this is a nonpartisan show, but I will say this. There's been some rhetoric around Kamala's history or her record when she was district attorney in San Francisco, when she was attorney general in California. But if you really do your research and you just do a general search, you'll see she has been dedicated to the larger of us her entire career. So anything that you hear that's against that is false. That's not to say that every move she's made has been perfect, but she has shown her dedication to the great majority of us throughout her career. And that's what you need to tell people.
That's right.
Because she was DA. People say, hey, if she was DA, she must have been putting certain people behind bars. And it's like, no, she was doing what she needed to do for us. And she was making the community safe and providing opportunity. So make sure you check people.
Thank you for sharing that. And you know, when you sharing that, actually, all I've been hearing about her and it is just how she laughs. Her comment about the coconut tree, that like I do not hear the other side share anything that has to do with policy or experience. It's like they don't have much to use.
Right. Yeah.
Like the part of the DA. Now I have heard a little bit about that, but what it gets squashed with
Right.
this other, and I'm like, you know what? Let them flap their lips. It's okay. Let them flap their lips about how she laughs. I laugh loud. You know, I got sayings too growing up. You know,
Right.
I'm okay with someone being happy.
Right.
You know, so yeah, and then just the other, like even with the whole DEI, you know, using that, like what, like that's dumb. Like now they have this whole thing about that's just weird.
Yeah.
There's a whole like what about
DEI means you don't belong here, or no,
exactly.
or you didn't deserve to get here.
Yeah, that now they're using, like they don't have any leg to stand on to go against her, because at the same time, you know, they have, you know, they're just trying to come up with a message. Now I feel like they're like trying to just find something to get people to stay with them, because they're losing them. The ones that were on the fence that like, yeah, you know. Now I'm like, if all you can do is say things about DEI and her laugh and another one, oh, well, she sounds drunk. Oh, well, I drink sometimes. Sometimes I have a little drink when at the end of the day. Who doesn't?
If that's all they can say, we're in good shape. But
exactly.
Better shape if people come vote.
That's right. Vote.
Please.
And also, when I was on the call last night, they did say what you said. Whenever someone says something about her record, you need to bring up, and they gave a specific, I think they said go to her headquarters, go to her website headquarters, and actually they have something there for you to read up on and share with those folks that do come out with that nonsense. But the only nonsense I hear is her laugh.
Well, I hear a lot about how she was locking up Black and brown men at alarming rates for weed charges or small drug charges when she was DA, but thousands of men. But it was only 45 over like 5 to 10 years. 45 people.
See, and that's what needs to be put out there. Yeah. And because what they're doing is using that tactic of false, like making it bigger than what it is, to then try to gravitate, try to bring over the Black and brown vote. But that's not going to work. But the thing is that we need to take that and say, oh, well, let me look it up. That's not true. You're just saying that's now just like, oh, let me throw that out there. Let me throw that out there, see if it sticks.
That's why in my small role as SBOE member, I need some curriculum that teaches kids how to critically think.
Exactly.
We know how to critically think and challenge the myths that we hear.
Exactly.
We need to be able to do the same.
Yes. Always ask, like, and the whole thing of wonder and curiosity. Like, we need to make sure that we still have that as something to honor, to encourage in the school systems, because that's what's lost. That's what's lost and usually taken out is a child's wanting that natural curiosity to ask, like, well, what, why, how come, and we say we want that, but then when we're in the classroom and we're being given these things that we got to give kids and this rote learning and here's what you got to do at this day, at this time, and everyone has to do that at the same time, and here's your script, and that's not life. Life is not a script. Life is not rote learning. Life is learning by, the Socratic method, asking questions, thinking critically, looking at history. What happened? Okay, what do we got to make sure? What still works? And if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it is broke, well, what is out there that we can use together collectively to move forward? And that's what we need to continue with. And thank you, as educator to educator. I thank you for continuing to do the work and being on that call and sharing with me these nuggets, this gold of what I can do for Comadres for Kamala Harris. And I want to bring on, I think I'm going to have Ilsa coming on soon because she's one of my sponsors, but I want to bring on also, Angel, whenever you're ready, if you're decent, I want to bring on towards the end. But stay right there, Stacey. I want to bring on another super comadre who is one of my show sponsors. She is always making sure that I have some jewelry on that's looking really nice and flashy and gets me ready for whatever show or anything that I'm doing. So, and I also want to bring her on because she and I are working on this Comadres for Kamala. So, Ilse Garcia, super comadre, as well as show sponsor. There she is. Woo! I want you to give a little plug, talk about yourself a little bit, give a little plug for your boutique, and then we're going to talk about this, where we're going to unveil. Welcome.
Sure.
Share.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Thank you, Claudia. I'm always so happy to be on the show. I haven't been on the show for a while, but I'm so happy to be back today. And yes, thank you so much. I'm honored to be a sponsor of your show, of your this incredible show that you bring in so many great people all the time. So many people that we know, so many people that are in the community. So thank you so much. And a little bit about Ilsa's Glam Boutique. Actually, the owner of the boutique is my sister Elizabeth. So big shout out to my big sis Elizabeth. And I'll let you know that how it all started was basically I always in galas, luncheons, or around town. And people would always say, "Hey, I love your earrings." And I would say, "Thank you," right? And then one day they're like, "Where did you get them from?" And I was like, "Well, like I don't even remember." And my sister was there. And my sister was like, "Wouldn't it be great if we opened a boutique with everything that you have on?" And I was like, "I don't think that's gonna work out." I don't think that's gonna work. And it did. And I was so happy. And I want to say here on this platform to all our friends, to you, Claudia, to everyone that supports the boutique. It is a small owned business. It is a small business owned by a woman, two women, myself, my sister Liz, and my other sister Isela, who also comes out and helps us in many pop-up events. And so we love it. And moving into the future, we have pop-ups. And not only that, we have launches now, starting with our great friend Marianne, and then starting you're up next, of launches of what you wear from the boutique. And people can also buy what you wear from Ilsa's Glam Boutique.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Small business. It's what it's about. It's uplifting. It's making sure that we're supporting one another. We're wearing the items, and again, knowledge, education, connections, business. To me, it's all rolled up. Brain builders, because it's the future. The future, the ones that are going into the schools, the ones that are going to vote, the ones that are going to buy the products. I mean, we need to make sure that we're always weaved, interconnected. And I know that, Ilsa, you might want to get together with Esta Liliana, because she has also started the Radio Crystal USA business vendors on Saturdays. And there's another one coming up on August 31st. And any vendor can come out and set up their table. And it's out in Katy. So it's growing. And then Stacey, thank you for always being here and to support our communities, especially those that are overlooked, underserved, not always included, but you are the voice there at the State Board of Ed, making sure that we are included, that we have a voice, that we have someone whose eyes are looking at those textbooks and vetting them and giving Mike Morath the information that he needs to make sure that we are included at all times. So I want to now do a little, we're going to do a launch. Drum roll, please. Liliana, go ahead and unveil. Drum roll. And I want to have the artist right next to me. He's coming on. Come on, have a seat. Get close. All right, here. You want to take an earbud? Okay, put that in your ear. All right, so I want to officially announce Comadres for Kamala. So my comadre Ilsa Garcia here and I, we're working on having an event coming up soon. We'll be posting an event where we're going to come together and have this invite to start off with this education, awareness, voter awareness, making sure that people know what they can do to support Kamala Harris. We want to make sure we got 99 days, to get her into the White House. And I want to say, woo, aplausos to this unveiling. This was created by none other than my partner right here, Angel Quesada. Would you like to share a little bit about how you did this?
Basically, this one said, I need this, make it happen. I said, I'm busy. She said, but it's important. I said, I understand. So I stopped everything, made it happen.
You did?
Yes.
He did within 24 hours?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I wish that I could spend more time on it, but it's the urgency that is really what is at the heart of this. So,
okay. Angel, I need
you can,
one.
yeah, she's like, she signed up. Okay. So just so you know, this image and the Comadres for Kamala will be on sale on his website, and a proceed of the sales will be given to the Kamala Harris
Yay.
campaign.
Yay! What an exciting! Well, I'm going to be the first one to order. I'm going to need that in a large, extra large, depending.
I'll have it on my website by the end
Within
of the
24 hours.
Oh my God.
I love it.
24 weeks.
I mean, 24 hours, because we only have 99 days.
Yeah.
We only have 99 days, and we want to make sure that it's a platform. So I have an Instagram account, a Facebook page for Comadres for Kamala. Everything that you shared here today, Stacey, along with Dr. Reverend Wilkins, I'm going to share it, because that's what this is about. We need to make sure that we're connecting with each other, that we're sharing information, that we're getting that excitement out there again. Like I said before, I would have for my Joe. I don't care. I would have voted for him in a wheelchair, in the hospital, whatever, because I would have voted no matter what, because I would have been riding with Biden, wheelchair and all. I don't care, but I am so fired up now and ready to vote. And I know that you guys are, and I'm excited. And here it is. Here it is. I'm going to be sharing this. Ilsa and I will be following up with location, with ideas, with voter awareness, making sure you have that date. Like Stacey said, October the 5th. If you want to vote in this election, October the 5th is the day to make sure that you're registered to vote. So here it is. Comadres for Kamala. I'm super excited. Final words for you. You got to get back to work.
Yeah, no, it's a new America. I hope that we can really all come together and make this happen, because I'm excited about this new America, this idea of America. Let's not go back.
No, we can't. I know there's a lot of Swifties. If you're familiar with the whole, we can never, ever, ever.
But I feel like you're preaching to the choir, because all the people vote and stuff.
So it's our.
We need to go and tell everybody who doesn't vote, and tell those wacky uncles and aunts who are into Trump, and talk to them, like not other them, but just talk to them, and bring some empathy into the conversation, but let's get that changed.
Yeah, exactly. And I love your flower. You got a flower there, Miss Stacey? I love it. Woo! You got the Comadre for Kamala right there. Well, this ends. This Comadre, we got to get you a flower too. Oh yeah, I got to get my earbud.
You know what? I was looking for it. That's why I kept on putting myself. I'm like, where's my flower? Look, I have a flower pot, and we're gonna. There you go.
Hey, that'll work too. That'll work.
That'll work.
I told him, I go, you got to put a flower on Kamala in the image, and he did. He captured it.
And I love it. It's beautiful. But also, Comadre, and just to let everybody know that we will be coming up this week with all the events, the event for Kamala for president,
Comadres,
our event Comadres, and so we'll be having this on the second week of August. So we're very excited, and your opportunity to also donate by purchasing one of the beautiful T-shirts that proceeds will go to the campaign.
Exactly. So I'm super excited. So Stacey, Ilsa, and also Dr. Reverend Stephanie, who was on earlier, I want to thank you for taking the time to be on here to show your work, your love, your passion. And I'm excited. I'm excited to keep moving forward. And like Angel said, we got to keep, that conversation open, even with those wacky uncles and family members, and try to have that empathy and what have you. But I'm going to keep dancing. I'm going to keep doing my TikToks, dance to the polls. I was telling Stacy, comadre, that the last time that orange person was running, I had people DMing me saying, I might just vote blue because I just like your TikTok dances.
Exactly.
I'm like, if that's going to make you go to the poll and vote blue, I will do TikToks for the next 99 days.
I will wear a flower on my head.
And wear your flower. Flower. There we go. I love it. So let's do a little pose. Liliana, are you ready to take our picture? Get your flower up there, comadre.
I'm ready.
Just hold it. All right, here we go. Everybody pose with your picture and with your flower.
I love it.
Got it.
Oh, you got it. All right. So I love you, everyone. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you for your work too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Stacy.
You too. Let's win.
That's right. Sí se puede.
Sí se puede.
Sí se puede. Woo! All right, my friends. If you're here listening now, we're closing up. This has been La Super Comadre Claudia of RadioCrystalUSA.com. This was my Catching Up with Claudia segment. We were catching up with Dr. Stephanie Wilkins, a reverend, also Ilsa Garcia, one of my sponsors. She's always making sure that I'm all glammed up. And we also had Stacy Childs with the State Board of Education and launching Comadres for Kamala. Thank you so much to the amazing artist, my partner, Angel Quesada, for creating that image within 24 hours. I gave him an idea and there it was. And so keep up with our Facebook page. I'm going to make sure that you have access to the Facebook, to the Instagram pages so that you can keep up with Comadres for Kamala and how you can make sure that you are ready to vote. You are informed. You have the information. You can donate time, talent, treasure. And like Stacy said, every amount is welcome. No amount is no amount is too small. No amount is too big. And also, number one is you take care of yourself. Make sure you eat, make sure you sleep. I know I need to follow that too. And because if we want to do the things we want to do in life, you got to make sure that you take care of yourself. All right. This has been La Super Comadre Claudia, Radio Crystal USA, Catching Up with Claudia. Hasta la otra.
Gracias por haber estado aquí en el show Catching Up with Claudia. ¿Tan? ¿Ya terminamos? Ok, bye.